A professor of applied economist at the Johns Hopkins University, Steve Hanke, decided to choose violence when he called out Nayib Bukele for his proposed Bitcoin city on his Twitter account. The known Bitcoin hater started what later became a heated exchange between the two by attacking the president's decision to source power from an inactive volcano. Apparently, the professor believed it would be safer and wiser to build Bitcoin City over an active one instead. He immediately chose to share the information with the world via his Twitter account. Of course, he was thoroughly schooled by Nayib Bukele, and we have all the juicy details for you. Welcome to Savvy Finance. In this video, we examine a Twitter exchange between El Salvador's crypto-loving president and a professor that believes that the president has been wasting taxpayers' money by adopting Bitcoin as the country's legal tender. Not only was Hanke schooled badly, but Peter Schiff also got dragged into the fracas by none other than his own son. With all the tension of the past few days, the crypto community really needed the laugh. Thankfully, Professor Steve Hanke came through for us all. Please watch the video to the end, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. The exchange started on January 7 when Steve Hanke decided to take a slur at President Nayib's vision for a Bitcoin mining city that would be run on geothermal energy from one of El Salvador's many volcanoes. The professor's tweet reads, "At Nayib Bukele's proposed Bitcoin city is as prepared as Florida is for snow. The advertised power source for the city is an inactive volcano. This is just more attention-grabbing antics from a narcissistic president who is full of hot air." The professor's comparison could not be more flawed and comical. Unlike Florida and its sparse snow, El Salvador is teeming with volcanoes. As President Nayib later points out, the Central American country has 170 volcanoes, and the present administration plans to use them effectively. The second sentence in Hanke's tweet also raises some important questions. Did the professor not know that President Nayib had planned to use volcanoes before attacking him on Twitter? Or was he expecting El Salvador to use a volcano that had recently erupted and could erupt again? Fortunately, President Bukele did not feel the need to act the bigger man and made a reply to Hanke's tweet. The tweet reads, "Of course, it is an inactive volcano, you idiot. Most geothermal power is extracted from wells near inactive volcanoes. Why would we build a city below an active volcano?" Things should have pretty much ended with this reply, but the professor decided to take a lower jab at President Nayib. This time, he went for El Salvador's energy production and distribution, using his own study as proof that the country has an enormous energy deficit. How much energy can you extract from the inactive Conchagua volcano? Where's the feasibility study? El Salvador already has an enormous energy deficit and imports 22% of its electricity use without a feasibility study. No one knows how Bitcoin City will affect this deficit. This statement was not just a slur on Bitcoin City. It was a slur on President Nayib's entire administration. So it is understandable that the president decided to school him on a few things, starting with the country's energy production efforts and the president's plan for Bitcoin City. Here is President Nayib's tweet. "Okay, idiot, I am going to school you again. Not because it is going to be of use for you since you are just getting paid to attack Bitcoin and defend fiat, but because the people deserve to know you are a fraud. El Salvador does not have an energy deficit. In fact, we can produce twice the energy that we consume. Maximum energy consumption in El Salvador is 1,030 megawatts, while the installed capacity is able to produce 2,065.79 megawatts from these sources. Ingenious is waste from sugar cane." He accompanies the tweet with this table showing the country's energy production in 2011, 2016, and 2020. According to the table, the Central American country has been producing energy from 6 different sources since 2020. Put together, all 6 sources are capable of producing 2,065.79 megawatts, a 28.5% increase from that of 2011. In another tweet, the president writes, "The reason we still import energy is because we are part of a regional open market, and energy producers in other countries still beat some of our producers in price. This is going to change in a few months. At the beginning of my presidency, we started the construction of a natural gas power plant by a private consortium. It is a $1 billion project that will generate 380 megawatts of electricity, 24/7, cleaner and cheaper than other producers in the region. With this, instead of importing energy, we will export it, and at the same time make the old power plants with dirty and expensive energy obsolete. The plant will start producing energy this May. Actually, we just welcomed the new terminal BW Tatiana a couple of weeks ago. You can Google BW Tatiana. Maybe you will learn a little about energy, a topic you certainly know nothing about. But that is not all. We are also building a new water dam that will soon generate an extra 66 megawatts of clean, renewable energy on the northern part of San Miguel. With this, we will export energy to our neighbors. With the issue of energy insufficiency and exports out of the way, President Nayib moves on to the issue of volcanoes and how they can help power the country and Bitcoin City. He states that even though El Salvador is the smallest country in the American continent, excluding the islands, they have 170 volcanoes, some of which have served as a power source for the country for about 50 years. In another tweet, he adds, "But we have dug new wells and we are planning to increase our geothermal production by a lot. Only this well, I tweeted about some months ago, will produce 95 megawatts of clean, cheap, and renewable energy from a source that is going to last at least a couple of million years. So far, we have dug 4 of them, and we are planning to put some of the excess energy into Bitcoin mining and the initial powering of Bitcoin City." The president does not stop there. He also addresses the issue of the Cachagua volcano that had started the fracas to begin with. On the volcano, President Nayib writes, "We have a 90% chance of finding at least a plus 42 megawatts well, enough to power all of Bitcoin City. And if the city grows far more than expected, good problem, then we can still use the 95 megawatts plant we are building for the initial powering. So the inactive Cachagua volcano is perfect to power Bitcoin City. But of course, we picked that one from the 170 we have for the view." He accompanies his final tweet with 2 pictures of the volcano and its surroundings. We must confess, the pictures are purely breathtaking. Steve Hanke might have started out to ridicule El Salvador's plans for Bitcoin City, but all he did was make more people aware of the country's volcanoes, heavenly views, and great plans for infrastructural and economic development. But Steve Hanke gained something from the exchange. He gained a sweet nickname that the Twitter crypto community will not forget in a rush. Check out this hilarious picture of R2D2, C3PO, and Steve Hanke. Another entirely innocent person also got dragged into the fracas, and by none other than his own son. One of the comments on President Nayib's tweet was from Spencer Schiff, the son of Peter Schiff, taking a big jibe at his father. The young Schiff is strongly invested in Bitcoin, while his father believes gold is the only worthy investment. Spencer Schiff's tweet reads, "When it comes to Bitcoin, Steve is way worse than my dad, and that is saying a lot. Peter Schiff definitely raised a brilliant son. Maybe someday the senior Schiff, Hanke, and others like them will come over to the winning side." Hanke is not the first person to critique the El Salvadorian president for adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender, and he will certainly not be the last. But their criticisms seem to be falling on deaf ears with the president and many of his people. When President Nayib's experiment with the flagship cryptocurrency begins to show some promise for El Salvador and its people, the naysayers will have to eat their words. What do you think of the exchange between Hanke and the El Salvadorian president? Please drop your comments in the box below. Also, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more crypto-related videos. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.